Will the Carolina Hurricanes be able to win 2 road games in the Eastern Conference Finals? Something, if you would have told us a year ago, as Panther fans, we would have said not a chance in the world because they're probably playing the Panthers again this year. What's up, Florida Panthers Daily? I'm Andrew Sheridan, back here with you on Wednesday, May 27th. Missed you yesterday. I got some personal life stuff going on and was unable to get here and talk to you yesterday here on Florida Panthers Daily. And that's what we're going to look back on this day in Florida Panthers history. We're going to look back on yesterday since we didn't have an episode. I have only missed, I think, 2 episodes of our daily here on YouTube. And it hurts when I wasn't able to do it. I was trying to find time, was trying to work it in. And with the stuff going on, I was just unable to. But now we're back here with you on this Hump Day Wednesday. If you're new here on Florida Panthers Daily, we've been looking back on this day in Florida Panther history. And it was a big one yesterday for the Florida Panthers, not in a good way. And the reason we do this is to keep the vibes up as Panther fans. And tomorrow, we do have a good this day in Florida Panthers history. But the Panthers are also well represented right now over at the World Championships. All 5 players moving on. We'll get to that in just a little bit. And then the Carolina Hurricanes. We break it all down for you Monday through Friday right here on Florida Panthers Daily, part of the Fan Arch community. So subscribe down below and leave your comments, because every Friday and coming up in just 2 days, we will look at those comments throughout the week and respond to your comments. Are you a Canes fan and you're here to talk a little smack because your team now looks like they're in good position? We'll find out more tonight, and we'll respond to your comments right here on YouTube as we do every single week on Florida Panthers Daily. So get in the comment section down below and subscribe while you're at it. But like I said, I missed yesterday's episode, and it wasn't a good day in Florida Panther history. So maybe it wasn't a bad day. Maybe it was a sign that we didn't have an episode up here on Florida Panthers Daily for you. But we're back, and this day hasn't treated, or yesterday didn't treat the Florida Panthers well. No history on May 27th for the Florida Panthers, but May 26th, 3-0 loss to the Hurricanes. 4-0 elimination loss to the Tampa Bay Lightning. And in 2024, if you remember, the overtime loss to the New York Rangers, 5-4. I try not to harp on the losses too much, and we try and focus on the wins, but it's all we have to talk about if we're looking back on yesterday. And we know what happens. If you know they play every other day, you know what happens tomorrow if the Panthers lost to the Carolina Hurricanes. And you know what? It was one of those games where I remember going on social media the day after, or now probably a year ago today. I remember scrolling social media, and the Hurricanes just shut out the Florida Panthers. It was 3-0. How many saves did we have? We had Frederick Anderson had a lot of saves in that game. Panthers fell 3-0 to the Carolina Hurricanes, and it was at home. And you felt like the Panthers were just going to win the East again at home. It was going to be another sweep. The Carolina Hurricanes were never going to be able to get over that hurdle. But a year ago yesterday, the Carolina Hurricanes were able to knock off the Florida Panthers in the Eastern Conference Finals, and they look to stay hot tonight in the Eastern Conference Finals up there in Montreal. We'll break that one down just a little bit, but I want to focus first all the way back in 2021, because this was kind of the start of this Panthers team. It was like this team can be special for years to come. But in Game 6 on this day, or yesterday in 2021, it was the hurdle that it felt like the Panthers could never get over. Vasilevsky and the Lightning shut out the Florida Panthers 4-0, and the Panthers were eliminated in the first round of the Stanley Cup playoffs yesterday in 2021. But the game I want to focus on happened 2 years ago, and it was a feisty game. If you remember, it was Memorial Day weekend. I remember watching this game on Memorial Day, maybe the day after Memorial Day. I was on vacation, and I was at the sports bar near the local hotel that we were at, and the Panthers dominated this game. They out-hit the New York Rangers, had a third of the penalty minutes of the New York Rangers in this one. You remember, Jacob Trouba had the up-high hit that seemed a bit dirty in this one. The Panthers outshot Igor Shesterkin, or put 37 shots on goal against Igor Shesterkin. Panthers had the lead in this one. It was back and forth. The Rangers went at 4-2. Panthers were able to score 2 quick ones in the third and force overtime, and it felt like this was this Panther team that we've built up to see. And then they fell short. They lost in overtime. If you remember, Winberg scored the game winner in overtime. I can hear it ringing off the post now into that overtime winner. And this was the game where it kind of felt like it was 1-1. You stole one in the Garden, and now you're back at home. Let's go and win this thing. Let's move on to the Stanley Cup Finals. And the Rangers just were the better team that day, or not even the better team, got the better of the bounces that day 2 years ago today, 2 years ago yesterday in Panther history. But let's update you now on what is going on in the NHL, because we missed yesterday. And how about the Carolina Hurricanes? A 3-2 overtime winner. What is up with the Eastern Conference Finals and overtime games. We talked about 2 years ago today, the Panthers were involved with one. We've talked about on this day in Florida Panthers history here on Florida Panthers Daily, all the overtime thrillers that the Panthers played with the Carolina Hurricanes over the years. And the Hurricanes just seem to now have figured it out. They're playing a style of hockey where you just wear teams down and you take advantage of that one opportunity when you get it in overtime. On Monday night, 3-2 in overtime in the Bell Arena. And that is why we'll get to my best bet in just a minute. Can they really steal 2 games on the road, or was this big for them? Was that a must-win on Monday night for the Carolina Hurricanes after splitting games, after having a long rest, losing game 1? It kind of felt like, oh, here we go again if you're a Carolina Hurricane fan. But that's now back-to-back overtime wins for the Hurricanes. At what point does that start wearing on the Canadians a little bit? And then last night, I'm recording this here a little before puck drop. The Avalanche, is the President's Cup curse still alive? Coming into this series, I knew Vegas was a good team. I said don't be surprised if Vegas steals one in Denver. But I did not expect the Vegas Golden Knights to be up 3-0 on this Colorado Avalanche team. Leave the comments down below. Of course, I haven't seen the results yet of last night. That game has not yet started. It's a late one, though. Have you been staying up for these Western Conference games? Because I'm getting ready to move out to Illinois, and the time change, watching the games out there, man, it helps. Getting to actually stay up for the full games and still be able to wake up for my 5:15 shift rather than, oh, I'm turning this one off at the end of the first period. I might not even make it to the first period. It is madness, but a big game last night, and there is a big game tonight, a game 4 in Montreal between the Hurricanes and the Canadians. We'll preview that one in just a little bit when we get to my best bet. But I want to take a focus now and really look at some Florida Panthers that have been playing in these World Championships going on. All 5 of the Florida Panthers that are playing in the IIHF World Championship have all reached the tournament quarterfinals. If you remember how fun the Olympics was, and maybe you haven't been watching, let's say, the group stage of this tournament, it's now time to turn it on and start watching. As Matthew Tkachuk is going for the Triple Crown of golds. He has the Stanley Cup, he has the Olympic golds, and of course hasn't been able to play in these World Championships because of the timing it. The Panthers have usually still been playing the last few seasons, but how good is it to see Captain Sasha Alexander Barkov back on the ice? He had his second goal of the game, which made it 2-2, and number 16 looks as good as ever. Lundell said he was going over there to take care of Barkov, make sure he remembered how to play hockey, and well, he looks as fresh as ever, and that really excites me for the Florida Panthers next season. And then how about for Team Lativa? Sandis Vilmanis, he had a shorthanded goal, was one of his 2 goals in their win over Hungary. He finished the group stage as the points leader for his team with 4 goals and 7 assists in 7 games. So the Panthers are well represented, and they are playing good. The preliminary round is officially over in Group A. Switzerland, Finland, Lativa, the USA all advanced to the knockout round. In Group B, it's Canada, Norway, the Czech, and Sweden all reaching the quarterfinals. And I mentioned Matthew Tkachuk. Well, in 4 games, if you remember, he missed the first few games of it. In the 4 game, he's had 4 goals, 7 points, and 18 shots, and he's looked good on the power play. That's what you remember about Matthew Tkachuk if you are a Florida Panthers fan. The United States went 3-1 once Tkachuk returned to the lineup. Remember, they dropped 2 out of their first 3, and then they did finish 4th in Group A. But now that Tkachuk is back, Team USA is playing good. They will face off with Team Canada, the top team out of Group B. That is on Thursday, tomorrow at 10:20 a.m. So if it's anything like the gold medal game, you're going to want to be tuned in at 10:20 tomorrow morning to watch Matthew Tkachuk and see if Team USA can upset Team Canada yet again. And yes, Team USA will be the underdog in that one. And then also tomorrow at 10:20, Finland and Czech is playing at the same time, so you might need a dual screen going, or that's why we keep you up to date here on Florida Panthers Daily. So subscribe down below, and we'll continue to keep you up to date. Now it's time for the best bet of the day here on Florida Panthers Daily, and it's hard to pick against the Montreal Canadiens at home when you watch the atmosphere that they have in that barn. Tickets, again, $300 plus if you want to go see your team play north of the border. And I like the over. I'm not picking a winner. My best bet is over 5.5 goals here today on this Thursday on Florida Panthers Daily. Tail the over today, my best bets. My social medias are AJ Sheridan Radio. DM me if I get it wrong. Let me know in my comments, or let me know in my comments down below here on YouTube. Subscribe. If you're on Apple Music or Spotify, like, 5-star review. It does us a lot of good. And I'll continue to do my best to be with you here Monday through Friday as you've come accustomed to, as you've grown accustomed to. But again, I'm going through a move. I'm moving to a different state. So if I miss a few days here in the offseason, stay with me, subscribe, turn on those post notifications. It's every day at 11, Monday through Friday, right here on Florida Panthers Daily. And until tomorrow, let's go Cats.